Cinderella, adapted by Brooke Zimmerman and illustrated by Sarah Krantz. A beautiful girl named Cinderella lives in a big palace with her stepmother and her two stepsisters. They all treat Cinderella very badly. They make Cinderella do all the chores to keep their home sparkling clean. Poor Cinderella washes all the dishes, scrubs the floors, irons the clothes, and picks up the mess her stepsisters leave behind. While she works, Cinderella's stepsisters watch her and tell her what to do. "Cinderella, are those dishes done yet?" they ask. Cinderella just keeps working and tries her best to do a good job. Sometimes the stepsisters tease Cinderella because her clothes are so plain. "Look at my fabulous dress, Cinderella," says one of the stepsisters. "Isn't it divine? Don't you wish you could wear such fancy things?" Cinderella smiles as she works and says, "Yes, it is a very lovely dress." Cinderella's heart is so sweet that she is never unkind to her stepsisters, even though they are unkind to her. One day a letter arrives at Cinderella's house. "It is an invitation to the royal ball at the castle," cries the stepmother. "Everyone is very excited." "Too bad you can't come, Cinderella," says the stepmother. "You must stay home and weed the garden." The stepmother and stepsisters put on their most elegant dresses for the ball. Cinderella watches them leave. Then she slowly walks outside to the garden to begin her work. But she wants to go to the ball more than anything. She becomes very sad and begins to cry. "Oh, I wish I could go to the ball," she sniffs. Suddenly, a beautiful fairy appears in the garden. "I am your fairy godmother," she tells Cinderella in a soft voice. "Your wishes can come true, and you shall go to the ball." The fairy godmother waves a magic wand, and Cinderella's ragged clothes turn into a lovely gown. "Thank you," says Cinderella. "Now I can go to the ball." Cinderella twirls around in her magical dress. "Oh, my beautiful shoes are delicate glass slippers, but I'm afraid I do not have a way to get to the castle," she says. The fairy godmother waves her magic wand over a pumpkin in the garden. The pumpkin becomes a beautiful coach. Then the fairy godmother points the magic wand at some field mice who are playing in the garden. Poof! They magically become a team of horses. One mouse even becomes a driver. "Just remember this, Cinderella," says the fairy godmother. "At the stroke of midnight, the magic spell will end. Your gown will once again be rags, and the coach will be only a pumpkin, and the horses and driver will be just mice." Cinderella speeds away in the coach. She arrives at the castle just in time for the ball. "She is so beautiful. How graceful she is. She must be a princess," say all the people. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters are there, but they do not recognize her in such fine clothes. The princess sees Cinderella too. He thinks she is the prettiest girl he has ever seen. He immediately asks Cinderella to dance. The prince and Cinderella dance together all night. As the clock begins to strike 12, Cinderella remembers the magic spell will end. To the prince's great surprise, Cinderella hurries out the door and runs away from the castle. One of Cinderella's glass slippers falls off and onto the castle steps. Cinderella dashes all the way home. Her magical dress turns back into rags, but Cinderella is still very happy. The prince finds the glass slipper on the castle steps and says, "I will search the entire kingdom until I find the girl whose foot fits this glass slipper." The prince visits house after house, but the slipper does not fit anyone. The prince worries that he may never find his beautiful dancing partner. Finally, the prince knocks on the door of the last house in the kingdom. It is Cinderella's house. The stepsisters tug and pull and push, but the slipper is too small for them. The prince is about to leave when Cinderella says, "May I try on the slipper?" The prince looks into Cinderella's eyes and he sees that they are very kind and a little familiar. Cinderella tries on the glass slipper and it is a perfect fit. The stepmother and stepsisters gasp. They promise never to be mean to Cinderella again, for she will now become a princess. The prince marries Cinderella. They are very happy and they will always love to dance together.